We live. Yeah, buddy. What's good? Oh, where'd the music go? What's up? Happy Monday. There it is. Oh, yes. Welcome. What's good out there? Happy Monday, man. Welcome back to a new week and a new day. I can't see shit. There we go. Yeah, what's good, dude? Happy Monday. Welcome. A fine Monday indeed. Yeah, man. What's good? Welcome to a Monday edition. A fine indeed Monday edition. Man, my jaw is all fucked up. There we go. Yeah, get the whole scenery in there. What's good? Happy Monday. Welcome. BS with Hannas. Hannas, Nikki Hannas. That's me. What's up? It's what I call myself online. Welcome to it. Little morning talk show of sorts. Come out here and ponder, think out loud, wonder about just things, man, things I'm doing, things I've observed, so on and so forth. Just a little a little something for the people. General premise of this, I'll wake up and I'll try to take a nice walk, man, and read some good stuff. Come talk to the people. When I'm done here, go lift some weights, go to work, rinse, repeat. Once I'm done work, I got things to do. I got a life to live. I got things to accomplish. But until that money starts coming in, got to pay them bills, man. Do what you got to do. And it sucks. It sucks sometimes. Monday, I like to kind of just zoom in, pure mindset stuff, which is a big recurring theme in the stuff I like to talk about anyway. And I never know exactly what is going to come out when I come on here. When I go out and walk, I'll think about things, but a lot of times it's like, oh, that'll be a great bit for the cast when I get back in there and talk to the people. And then it goes away. I'll have an idea and it goes away as quickly as it comes into my head. And then when I actually sit down here and get situated, start running my mouth, because I don't have a script. Imagine if I was just here. I got a book in my hand. So if I want to read something from a book, that's one thing. That's sharing wisdom. That's sharing some knowledge. It's important to read. Not everybody can read. There's many illiterates among us. But, I'm not going to just sit here and write a script. Here's what I think everybody needs to hear on a Monday. Man, if I got something that someone needs to hear, it's going to come through the antenna effect of sorts, man. It's going to come through a state of just flow state, just sitting out here with gas station sunglasses on my face, thinking, talking out loud, just letting the energy take me. And if I can't get good at that, shame on me. I don't think there's anything cool about. I mean, there's a whole world of people that script their videos, but they're basically doing what they call video essays. That's a whole different game. That's a whole different game than this. I look at this like a guitar solo, man. We're out here jamming, just a little quick little jam session in the mornings before go out and do what I got to do. You never know what's going to pop out in a jam session. You never know what the drummer's going to play. The drummer never knows what the bass player is going to play. You never know what you're going to play. And if you just have one lick that you just I have to play this. Well, you're going to be trying to fit that in. You're going to be trying to fit that into the context instead of just rocking with whatever the context is and standing on your stripes that way. But, that's just what I think, dude. That's just what I think. Mindset. Monday mindset. Friday, I was talking about the big picture and how we can't be swayed by our moods. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let it be said that I ain't perfect. I am, in fact, oftentimes retarded, and I often fall short of all the things that I talk about. Because here's the thing with talking about this stuff. I guess I kind of say this pretty often too. We all know the right thing. We all know. Especially when it comes to discipline, quote unquote, and achievement, quote unquote. Like once you spend some time in the game and listen to enough podcasts and read enough books, both things that I'm an advocate for 100%. It's good nourishment, it's good nutrients for the brain, for your mind, for ways of thinking. As long as you take that and digest it for real and then incorporate it in what you do day to day. But man, my Fridays, man, my weekends at work sometimes just completely throw me off. I got a pretty cush throughout the week. Like it's not long days, easy. I go in, do my thing, get out, which is how most people look at their jobs. But Fridays in the food game, man, Fridays, Saturdays, yeah, it's just a whole different world, just way busier. And sometimes I just get so sick. I get so sick of doing what I'm doing. I get so sick of just the general public and coworkers and just all the myriad situations that come about. And that's my chief challenge in life right now is to not be swayed off of what I know is good, off of what I know is right, off of what I know is just, let's say. It's real hard for me sometimes to be pleasant and not impatient, not visibly angry, not just visibly just like, fuck this. I get like that, man. I get like that. You know what I'm saying? It's very difficult for me. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Of course I'm not. Everyone deals with BS. Everybody deals with just nonsense and you gotta just eat it half the time. And it makes me struggle in the regard of thinking, man, I wish like would it be strategically wise to be more apathetic? I don't know. That sounds like a cop out to me though. I don't know that anybody anybody in my life would want to trade places with me as far as employment goes and what I do and how like the hours and time constraints and fixing it all into my schedule. But that's neither here nor there because it's my journey. It's my occupation, you know, and thus my occupational nonsense that comes with it. But dude, I got done work Friday and I was just like, man, if I had total freedom, if I had a ring of Gaiji's on my finger and I could just do whatever, free of consequence, bruh, like I can't go drink. And I'm never actually, rarely, I gotta be like in a real bleak, desolate state to even entertain the notion of what if I just went to the bar? Like I could, there's nothing stopping me except myself. But I gotta be real down in the dumps to even like play that fantasy out in my head a little bit. And I'm emotional and sentimental, aka I'm a bitch sometimes. I'm trying to exercise that out of me completely. But welcome to being human. I gotta be real down in the dumps to think that way. So that's non-negotiable. Can't do that. And then other parts of me were like, dude, if I could just like beat the shit out of someone right now, that would make me feel good. But it's like that's obviously dumb. Like that's obviously not a good way to think. Why are you thinking like that? What are you gonna do? What's it gonna solve? You're gonna feel better afterwards? Shit. Especially once you get all mad, you'll probably be all pissed off and go to hit someone and slip, sprain your fucking shoulder or something. And then you look like an idiot. And then you get stomped on. So like calm down, shut up, get over it, keep it pushing. But I get like that sometimes, man. Just like real, just completely bent up about nothing. And me, I'm like, man, I should go work out or something. Then it's like, dude, I ripped the gym hard this morning, worked 12 and a half hours. That internal voice that just says go, drive, command, dominate. Like I have that. I believe I have that at least. Actions will tell more than whatever I think about it. But then sometimes it's like, just calm down. Maybe you should just go home. Like maybe you should just go home. If you're feeling completely out of it, put the to-do list down for a day. It ain't gonna kill you. But then I'm like, well, what's the opportunity cost of like, do I really need to not do this thing when I could just like do it and be miserable and pissed the whole time? Man, I get like that sometimes. So even when I talk about mindset out here, even when I talk about, just getting after it and ripping and like I try to, man, I try to. Sometimes the wind blows me off course too, dude. It sucks and I kind of feel guilty about that. But then I'm like, after the fact, it's like, all right, that's one day out of seven, that all things considered, I still, there were so many wins within that day, one or two losses. If they're just about mood and temperament and being, what did I say? It was like it was in a short that I uploaded on Friday too, which is why it's like it was messing with me. 'Cause the next day I looked at my YouTube profile and I'm like, damn it, I sound like a hypocrite. I sound like an asshole. Something about the tyranny. Yeah, the tyranny of your mood. Here I am giving advice. Don't be swayed by it. Well, that's the battle. That's the never ending, unceasing dilemma of sorts. And that's kind of where I'm thinking, man. So it's like, all right, it's a Monday, it's a new week, weekend, whatever. Not even a weekend. I had a Sunday. I'm off on Sundays and I maximized it to the best I could, even though when I get real moody like that, that like follows me around a little bit. And that's just, that's how I am. It's my demeanor. But, the only way out of that is action. And when I'm not compelled to be at a place and do a thing for X amount of dollars, for X amount of time, X amount of tasks, when I have like a little bit of freedom and maneuverability and I can like, all right, this is what I want to do. I want to go do this, so I'm going to go do it. I want to go do this, so I'm going to go do it. It changes my whole, obviously, obviously, it's almost like having a sense of control and determination in how you spend your day is good and it makes you feel good. In fact, it empowers you. And then when you have that and you do the things you know are right and you're crushing, you do that long enough and you're living a righteous life. That's what I think, at least. That's kind of where my brain's at today, man. So it's a Monday. It's a chest day. I was up with the weighted vest, sweating. Nice and sunny out here in the suburbs. Nice and hot. It's July, so you know what it is. The days are about to start getting shorter. Before we know it, it's going to be fall, dude. And that's what I got to think about. Between now and then, it's just a matter of, don't really matter how I feel, but it does matter what I do, even if how I feel has a real part in informing what it is that you do. But that's the fight. That's the battle. That's how it goes. But, that's just what I'm thinking. I got this book in my hand. I'm not even going to pull from this one. Although this is good, by the way. Anyone out there? Wallace, the complete Wallace D. Waddles. I was talking with the young bulls at my job one time. I'm like, yo, ain't you ever listened to Wallace Waddles? You ever read some Wallace Waddles? And there's one college kid. He's like, dude, there's no way I'm going to listen to a man named Wallace Waddles. And I'm like, all right, well, I get it. But you're playing yourself. I don't know why I even grabbed that. I had these books that I was going to pull from on Friday. So I got some mindset thinking quotes real quick. What was Thursday's date? Because I read these Thursday, but wanted to use them Friday. Today's the 13th, so that's what, the 9th? Yeah, something like that. 12, 11, 10. Yep, 9th. This one's from my dude, Norman Vincent Peale. Positive thinking every day. Just a little fire before I head out of here. What did he say? On the, damn, I can't even get my days right. Here we go. This is what he said on July 9th. The positive thinker is a hard-headed, tough-minded, and factual realist. He sees all the difficulties clearly, which is more than can be said for the average negative thinker. But he sees more than difficulties. He tries to see the solutions of those difficulties. Yeah, man. Maybe that's it. Am I a positive thinker? I don't know. Am I hard-headed, tough-minded, a factual realist? Until I'm delusional. Maybe we're all like that. All the difficulties clearly, which is more than can be said for the average negative thinker. The average negative thinker, huh? Yeah, I don't know. This is when it turns into speculating on others. The average negative thinker. I guess Mr. Norman Peale had a impressive resume of case studies and interviews and, real world anecdotal and empirical evidence to pontificate and think about the average negative thinker. Average thinker, huh? I don't know. I don't think I could be considered an average thinker. I think way too much. And it seems to me most people don't think at all. But then it seems to me that not thinking at all is a superpower. In fact, it's cool these days. They call it retard maxing. But retard maxing is the bell curve, where you got the troglodyte on one side and then the enlightened genius on the other, and everyone's all frustrated and mad and irritated and pissed off in the middle. Coping. That's life, man. That meme, damn these memes. The past 10, 15 years of meme warfare. It's done something. Memetics, they call it. Kind of like genetics, but memes, memories. Memetics and the genealogy of how memories, the inception effect, so to speak. Yeah, very interesting stuff. The average negative thinker. Yeah. But the positive thinker sees more than difficulties. He tries to see the solutions of those difficulties. Yeah, it's true. Try to. And I guess you got to be positive to keep trying. That's the big thing. If you're uh, a pessimist, negatively thinking pessimist, you're going to probably look for solutions and then probably give up right away because you're so realistic. You've got such a firm grasp on reality. That means you shut the blinds pretty quick. You close the door to any solutions. The optimist person might just be like, yeah, maybe that'll work. Yeah, maybe. Let's give it a shot. Let's pump the brakes and just chill for the next 10 minutes while I give this new thing a shot, which is where I suffer sometimes. But here was the other thing. What do I got here? This one was from Mr. Emmett Fox. I don't know if anyone out there knows Emmett Fox, but he's got some heat. And I thought this was pretty good. From July 9th, even though today is the 13th. That's all right. It's titled Self Condemnation Keeps Us Back. He says, people who are trying honestly to follow the spiritual life often make the mistake of being too hard on themselves. Very guilty of that. Although it is kind of, I'm trying to live the spiritual life. I'm trying to live the spiritual life. I'm living the spiritual life. I talk like that and I feel like a douche sometimes, but it's true. I digress. Let's start over. People who are honestly trying to follow the spiritual life often make the mistake of being too hard on themselves because they do not seem to be progressing as fast as they would naturally like, or because they find themselves repeating some old fault that they thought they had completely overcome. They feel discouraged and condemn themselves mercilessly. Yeah, man. Look at that. I read it Thursday, lived it Friday, trying to unwrap it in live time with no script, just thinking out loud on a Monday, on a fine Monday, by the way. And here it is. It was waiting for me the whole time on this folded up book on my desk. Yeah, that's how life works, actually. Interesting. Mr. Emmett Fox goes on to say, all this is foolish. If you are doing your best to use what truth you know at present, you are doing all that you have a right to expect of yourself. Nice. Don't be impatient with yourself, but this does not mean that you are to be lazy or complacent. Facts. Handle yourself as a wise parent handles an, ooh, that's a good word. Wow. Damn, here I am criticizing the illiterate. But this is like some 1920 shit. Obstreperous. Handle yourself as a wise person handles an obstreperous child. That's a good word. I don't know what that means. Admittedly, kindly, patiently, but with gentle firmness, not expecting too much too quickly, but foreseeing inevitable growth and improvement. Yeah, handle yourself as a wise parent handles a dickhead child. When you use the modern word. Kindly, patiently, but with gentle firmness, not expecting too much too quickly, but foreseeing inevitable growth and improvement. And that, ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, that's life, man. Thank you, Mr. Emmett Fox. Obstreperous. Oh, I got to look this word up. That's a vocab word of the day. Obstreperous. An adjective describing something that is boisterous, noisy, and stubbornly defiant. Yeah, dickhead. It typically refers to aggressive, unruly behavior that actively resists authority, control, or restraint, such as a screaming child refusing to leave the grocery store or a rowdy crowd. Look at that. Obstreperous. Obstreperous. I'm kind of obstreperous myself sometimes, but now we learned a new word. We got some wisdom. I went on close to 20 minutes. It's time to go, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Monday. Thanks for hanging out. Fine Monday edition. BS with Be Honest. Live on YouTube with me on a Monday morning. I am Nikki Be Honest. This is my YouTube channel at BS with Be Honest. This podcast, BS with Be Honest, goes out to Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, so on and so forth. Most places you can find it. I got another YouTube channel. It's more music. It's all music at Nikki Be Honest Music. Check that out if you like some shred, some also improv lead guitar playing, so on and so forth. Links are all beneath me here. Follow me on Instagram if you want at Heavy Blues Metal. If you like the show, if you like hanging out, if you like the stuff, that's cool. Like, subscribe. If you really like it, hit that Patreon. You buy me a coffee or a fine energy drink, whatever you want, or don't. That's all good. In fact, if you think it stinks, let me know. If you want to criticize my sunglasses or my inability to pronounce obstreperous, holler at your boy, man. What other plugs? Yeah, you want some merch? Heavy Blues Metal, heavybluesmetal.com. That's like my I don't know, my emergent brand, I guess you'd call it. I don't know. It's sick to be able to have this idea in your head and design it and make it available and then rep your own stuff wherever you go. Yeah, that's pretty tough. So if you like it, if you like the message, support the message, want to wear the message, heavybluesmetal.com. Music, obviously. I'm a musician first and foremost in my own head. All the music, NickyBehannas.com, NickyBehannas.bandcamp.com, Nicky Behannas on all streaming services. I think that's it. The list of plugs never stops. But such is life, baby. Happy Monday. Keep ripping. Keep it real. One love. I'm out. Peace.